Hello and welcome to Library Salad. Today's episode is unique New Year's resolutions brought to you by the Monroeville Public Library in Pennsylvania. Hi, I'm Alice. Happy New Year. And yes, we are going to talk about what everyone's talking about now, New Year's Eve resolutions. Now, there's some very common ones that people that maybe call tried and true, but that people always go for. Some would be exercising and or losing weight, organization, and saving money. And also lately it's been being able to stay in contact in different ways with families and friends. Now, the big thing is that you really should start small. For example, if you take small steps, and I made this little origami this afternoon, hadn't before, but it's adorable.
I thought it was one of your shoes.
I know, isn't it adorable? They're both gray, okay? So we've got small steps with this versus someone else's shoe, who may or may not be in the room right now. You're going to get further with smaller steps than you are with just taking on something in just one giant leap. 80% of 80% of resolutions actually don't get completed by the first week in February. People have given up, and only 8% of resolutions actually get completed. So what could be done about that? As I said, start small, but start with something a little more unique, a little more fun, such as blowing bubbles. Maybe when you were little, you never learned how to blow a bubble. This is the time for that, people. And what's also fun? Juggling. Now you can start with 2. Okay.
It's not juggling.
It is. I looked it up. Juggling with 2 objects. That's legit. Anyway, I only had 2 eggs of these left, so this we're going with the 2. Okay.
We've got on ones that aren't hard boiled.
Anyway, we'll get back to that. Okay. So basically, he's going to start by, and yes, thank goodness they are. They are hard-boiled, but you get the gist. So basically, you're going to practice. See, I wasn't doing it with 1. It was a big deal. I went for the 2, but okay. So you're going to be like this, and then you throw in the other one. See, now that's something to achieve.
You may want to give that up by the first week of February.
I don't think I'm doing it again. But this is something to practice and get down pat. Oh, wait a second. You know what's a good one? The money. So you can have fun with that. But some other unique things that you may want to do is, what about daydreaming? People don't have a chance to daydream anymore. Just think about it, because you have a lot of people doing mindfulness, and that's a wonderful thing. But sometimes just good daydreaming. In this area, don't look at the numbers. In this area, there's a lot of the different lottery tickets that are up to hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, if you simply buy yourself a ticket, you have to be in it to win it, right? You can then say, if we won, would we take it in a lump sum or not? Where would we go? Where will I still be working? And just be able to go on the computer and just check out some places that you might want to travel with. Painting, things like that. This is from a class I took at the library. Classes are still going on. Check out the library's calendar for Zentangle. You can simply learn how to do this, or just if something you wanted to start painting. What about origami? You saw how beautifully the shoe came out, but it's very common. Yeah, that's the one. To start easy, look, that's simply by taking it, folding it in half, and then bringing it up across like that. Okay, you say, what is that? Okay, if this was another piece of colored paper, there's your flower. You turn it like this, put a little nose on him, some little eyes, and there's a little puppy. Okay? So this is what I'm talking about. Thank you. This is what I'm talking about, smaller steps. You can do this. You can then do the ever popular swan when his wings go. All right. What is also going to be, I think, a really thing to really treasure is that what about sending someone notes? Maybe there's an older relative that you haven't been able to reach out to, but a simple note, you can practice your cursive, right? Right? Not everybody gets it. What you have to do is just a simple message about thinking of you. Maybe talk about a memory that you had together, get a good laugh out of that. And you could even enclose an old photo. That's always fun. And what I had done recently with an uncle of mine is we had this picture. This is my parents and their siblings that I wasn't so sure about a couple of the different relatives and the names of those. So I made a copy of the picture, I sent it to him and asked him. So he sent me the picture back with little arrows telling which one. And I said to him initially that I've always used this because it's a great Thanksgiving picture. I even have little things that, you know, put it on the board when the kids came home from school and had to say, I need a picture of someone, you know, family at Thanksgiving. This was the one that always went. So my uncle sends it back to me. He's got the arrows going in, and he says to me, it wasn't Thanksgiving. It was his 16th birthday celebration. Now that was interesting. I didn't know that. We're still using this as Thanksgiving because it's a really good picture. But while you have your relatives to be able to send cards to, let them, give them a chance to tell you what year do they think it might have been. What, you know, who was it? What was going on? So that, just reaching out to a couple of friends and relatives you haven't been in touch with for a while, I think that's a nice goal, because resolutions really considered to be more of a goal rather than a strong word like resolution. Now, taking up a step, which is also a case of doing things with making sure, clearing out things, etc. We're talking about photos. If you have a bunch of photos, and there's all in tons of different shoe boxes, things like that, don't think that your goal shouldn't be, I'm going to put everything in a scrapbook. This is going to take forever. I'm not saying you can't, but you have to go slowly, as in somewhat of an accordion file. Just label in basic, you know, family, friends, things like that, and then just drop them in. You can later go back and then maybe pick it out when you talk to your family or you get some information on some of these photos, right on the back. You can take some of them, make them in, if you want to, make them into a scrapbook. But again, if you're going to do a goal, slowly. Same thing as recipes. You may have recipes all over. Who doesn't love to clip out recipes saying, oh, I have to try this, and it probably doesn't happen. You may not be able to find the recipes, but if you have yourself just a basic folder like this, and with the tabs, maybe you want to do it with holidays, maybe just favorites. And there's also a pack, I've got these in the back, just labeled to try. So I'll go for a new recipe, I'll try those. Every once in a while, take a look at it, because you might say, why did I pull this? Because I'm never going to make it. That is very helpful in that way. And there's some really cool recipes that you really do cherish. Then bump it up. Get yourself a nice recipe folder and bump it up like that. So, how do you, when you start reaching to a goal, what do you do to sort of increase the odds that it's going to go well? A buddy, a friend, a relative, someone you tell what you're doing to. You're going to be more inclined to continue to carry it out. I also, a friend had shown me this recently, how she's keeping track of, she's decided to do a couple of miles a week with a actual total for the year. What she got from somebody, from the internet, these are just different months. Each month has the number of days in it. So this one has, January has 31 parts to it. So that each day, if you've completed the goal for that day, you're going to color it in. It actually makes a lot of sense. You can make this your own. You can just get one piece of paper per month, write the month, make the little particular numbers to it, because people like to see as much of the coloring. It's going to look like you'll be able to track and more say, you know what, I was really colored in most of these. By the time I got mid-month, it was downhill. And it's sort of an incentive to bump it up and keep on going with that. Let's say that one of your goals is get weight loss or exercise. Instead of just saying, I want to drop 50 pounds, right? It's easier if you make it in segments of every 2 weeks. I'm looking for this particular weight loss. And then if you have a buddy and can do exercise and things like that together, that's what's going to keep you on track. Now, I might say, I don't know if I'm really optimistic and want to do this. Have you bought a 2021 planner? If the answer is yes, then yes, you certainly are optimistic, because last year we really didn't get to use those planners, and now it's optimistic as in there will be things to look forward to. Even right now, if it's just virtual things, that's great, but do those and track your success. Wish you the best, and let me know how it goes.